Hello, and it's an honor to be present again today with such lovely people. um, so I'm gonna make this another short video, and in it, I wanted to talk about imprisonment, slavery, and why does it feel like every single time we get out of one thing, there's another thing, like right there. It's like, man, I'm trying to do away with all the hardships, but for some reason they keep finding me like right on the other side. I clear one thing up, here goes another thing. And it started making me think because, you know, when you really think about it, is it hardships that we're trying to get away from? Is it situations and circumstances that we're trying to get away from that just keeps following us, haunting us, and just insisting that we live a miserable life? Is this possible? Like, what is it all for? Why? I think that in each individual's life, there comes a time when we accept the fact that we're creating our own prisons to put ourselves in. And even if we're not, we're letting those situations created for us still imprison us. It's like at some point in time, you have to come to the realization of, I don't want to be in this prison anymore. Like, I don't want to be in this prison anymore. And whatever your source of imprisonment is, or that you find yourself in, and what do I feel like a source of imprisonment is? Like, I feel like it's anything at any given time that's causing us to feel like we are stuck, impaired, or we can't move left, right, forward, back. There has been many times when I just was sitting down or sitting back and I just was like, why are these things happening to me? Oh my gosh, like, can't you people notice this? Don't you people notice that? Don't you people see that I'm not trying to hurt anybody or whatever the case may be? I kept trying to, I felt like even if I didn't do it consciously, I was subconsciously trying to prove myself to people. And I kept wanting people to believe me. Heck, I was being honest, like, I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say I never lied in my life. That wouldn't be true, especially white lies here and there. I'm telling you, I would tell my parents a lie in a heartbeat if I got a chance to, because especially if I felt like I wanted to do something and then I know they didn't really want to hear the truth about why I did it. I just be like, because, whatever reason. But on a continuous basis, I'm a pretty straightforward person. That's the thing. And I will even hold back my truths a lot of the times to amend other people or to make them feel okay, comfortable, and good. But then all the while, they don't give a crap, or didn't give a crap about the way I felt. Didn't even really care to hear it. And even giving an example, like in my friendship circles and stuff like that, I kept being the middle person. Like, I was the understanding person, the friend that said, I'm gonna be your friend, and then I was that friend until the end of time. It didn't matter like what you did to me, how it happened, how you talked to me. Really, I would find reasons to justify it. And maybe because I have Scorpio in my 11th house, I don't know. But I will find reasons to justify it. And I'll find reasons to be like, especially if you apologize to me, I'm like, I forgive you. Yes, I do. That has everything to do with, like, my Gemini side. But still, I will forgive you. And even though sometimes I would just not even say anything, and I'll just be like, okay, well, I'll go into this mode of where I'm resentful a little bit, but I will never really say directly what was wrong with me. And then I started to notice, like, people not getting along because their own petty reasons, and I'm no problems with nobody. And I'm explaining, like, okay, why don't you get with this person? Why don't you get with that person? Why don't y'all talk about it? And it was, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to talk to this person. I'm not going to talk to that person. And then it always turned around to land back on me and why it was my fault. I was two-faced. And I'm like, no, it wasn't anything of the sort. I just had no problem with neither one of y'all. You know, like I don't see any problem or any reason why I had to pick a side because of y'all's arguments. You know, it has nothing to do with me. And it kept happening that way. And then like things will happen, and since like my friends or whatever the case may be, I don't know who they were, would not understand, or like it'll look almost like I'm guilty or something. That's what it would seem like. And I would try so hard to be like, but look, and explain myself, and I didn't do this, and this is why I didn't do this, and this is why I didn't do that. And you know what? Finally, and I kept on being like, well, why does this keep happening to me, and blah blah blah. And then finally I got it. The bell rang. And I got the news flash of the reason why it keeps happening to you is because you won't get yourself out of the situations. You keep trying to explain yourself. You keep being disrespected, and you won't get yourself out of the situations. Nobody is tying you to these people through blood, sweat, and tears. Like, people grow, people change, and people move on. People leave. People die. People are born again. And you're still sitting here. It's not going to change until you remove yourself, or until you stand up and say what it is that you really feel and what you really stand for. And the thing about it is, I'm a good talker. I could communicate very well, but I just did not like hurting other people's feelings. It doesn't even matter if they hurt mine. I did not like hurting people's feelings. And I feel like another reason why I kind of kept my mouth closed a lot is because I knew I could say some pretty destructible things. You know, like I'll sit there and I'll say something one time that hit you below the belt. And I didn't like doing that to people, or whatever the case may be. But still, it wasn't until I decided that I wasn't going to be stuck anymore. I promise you, if something came my way and challenged me, and I knew it was going to cause me a bunch of pain and worryation and everything, don't get me wrong, I didn't avoid it. I took what I needed to take out of every situation. But when you get to the point of where you understand those lessons, and you understand that the only reason why these things are coming to challenge you is because you still haven't got the point yet. And even if they're coming and challenging you and they're destroying you, you still haven't got the point yet. That sometimes, though, you got to be able to back up. You got to be able to say, you know what, I'm wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong to myself. I was wrong to these other people. Even if you feel like you wasn't wrong to these other people, I was wrong to myself. I was wrong about my decisions. And it's okay for me to go back. I'm telling you, I'm a grown woman. You know, I took it as a very big failure when I had to go back to my mom's house, because I had to sacrifice something in order to gain my position in life where I need to be, and like I'm here now. And it's a lot of hard work, I'm not gonna lie, but I said forget it. I said forget the way people think about me and what they think. It doesn't matter. And like, until you get to that point, you're gonna face adversity like that, because you're gonna constantly feel like people and situations are coming, bombarding you, putting extra stuff on you, and then at any given time you can say no, I'm not going to do this. Or, you know what, maybe I didn't make the best of choices. I'm going to come back to the drawing board. I still got this plan, this vision, but maybe I got to access how I'm going about this execution. I mean, when you really get to the point of where you are just sick and tired of being sick and tired, when you're now learning to depolarize yourself. Now, I'm going to tell you, it takes a lot of work for some people to get to depolarization, because we're so caught up into polarization to where you're like, okay, well, what I'm doing is right and what they're doing is wrong. You know, and I even feel like certain situations come to this earth to teach us to come out of that, to be honest with you. When you get to the place of where you're depolarizing yourself, you can look over at some direction. You be like, and somebody could be telling you something, an earful of gossip or whatever the case may be, and you just really don't have nothing to say except for encouraging things to that person. Like, yeah, you don't deserve that. You're right. You deserve better. Yeah, you always need to work hard. When you just really don't have any one particular view about something, where it doesn't even matter to you enough to even give it a thought to speak on. It's like eliminating worry. You know, to me, it's like delivering yourself and rescuing yourself, or breaking yourself free from prison. Like these prisons, these bar cells, everything, like this cage we put ourselves in. That, I feel like, is when you're truly delivered. You're truly delivered, and you pass like one of the greatest tests like the universe could throw to you and offer you. And I'm here because I'm a constant work in progress. And you know what? I feel like, though, through my shift in understanding and change of perspective, like I'm getting it a lot more now. And I know people probably think I'm crazy sometimes, but it don't even matter. Like when you really honestly give two flips, like that much, about how people think about you or care about you, I feel like you're going in the right direction. You don't care how it looks anymore. Like I used to be a person, you don't understand. Look, now I sit here and paint, oh, I dropped it, my shells, my seashells. I don't know if you can see it, because I'm very creative. But I used to be the type of person that'd be like, dang, like somebody's gonna look at that and be like, you such a kid. Or I try so hard to maintain like control of myself, like yeah, you're not gonna catch me slipping. And it was all because of what people thought and felt about me. And then it got to the point of where I really looked through it all, and I was like, these people are about themselves. Like they don't care. Even if they are judging me, like, does it really matter? Why am I trying so hard to impress these pricks? Is what I, at the time, that's what I said. Like, why am I trying so hard to impress them? Like, they didn't even ask me to, but why am I trying so hard? And then all of a sudden, it didn't faze me anymore. I opened that prison gate. No, I blew that gate up. Not no violence intended, but I'm saying I blew it up. Boom, boom, boom. And I walked out freely. And I'm not saying that I can't admit my wrongs, because you know what? I feel like in just about every situation that I've been involved in, I've always admitted my wrongs. No, the people that I was involved in with, they couldn't admit theirs. It was never any mistakes on their part. They were never wrong. I mean, I'm telling you, if I told you the stories, but see, I don't be putting people's business out like that. But I'm just saying, that's how it is. When you really look at it from a different perspective, that's all it is. Higher consciousness, different perspective. You open up those prison gates. And you walk out. Sometimes you're going to walk out with a little bit of damage, or lingering feelings, or lingering resentment. You got to deal with that. I say deal with it while you're in prison. Deal with it while you're in prison before you open up that gate and come out. But it's time to start figuring out where in your life you are behind bars. And guess what? Remove the bars. That's only when the excuses stop. When the excuses stop, that's when you know you're getting somewhere. All right. Until next time, stay beautiful, stay great, stay lovely.